Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I will uncover the truth of unit trust. So a lot of us we heard that our friends or our parents, some of our relatives that they invest in unit trust, right? And then some of them when they really track the performance, they realize, hey, they're not really earning money. So why is that? So today I'm going to have a deep dive into unit trust and then to let you guys know what are the fees involved so that you guys are aware why unit trust might be a scam. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into Google and then I'll try to search for a mutual fund just to let you guys know, how easy it is to find more info regarding these mutual funds. So I'll try my best to mask this company's name so that I don't get into trouble. So for example, just gonna search like one of the company's name, top performing funds. So you just put any mutual funds company and then just put their top performing funds name in Google. Then just click on the first the first link that shows up on Google, and over here, right, these are the top performing funds and we can see that their 5-year annualized return from here it's showing 16.28%. Pretty good, right? But please take note that this is the gross returns, right? So it doesn't include any fees involved. So they're just showing you that, wow, my fund is returning 16.28%. It's very high, it's quite high. So it's just to catch your attention, then you might want to invest into this one. But let's jump right into the link here and then we go into it and see what is the fees involved. Okay, from here you can see just their previous their the chart. They're just comparing the benchmark and trying to sell you the idea that they're performing better than the benchmark. Okay, so we just go to the overview tab, and already from here we can see that there's a sales charge up to 5%, meaning whenever you deposit your money, 5% will be taken out from the investment. So you're literally losing 5% every time you're depositing your money. Okay, then we can see the distribution policy here is incidental, which means it is actually optional to them whether they want to declare a dividend to you or not. So just from this page, we already can see the fees, but this is not the end. There's more fees involved. So let's jump right into the products highlight sheet, okay? And then we can, view more details. Of course, most of us, I believe that they won't read through all of these things, okay? Because it might be too complicated for the, average investors. But what I would like you to search is just Control F and open up the search bar, just search fees, okay? And over here, on every funds they should show you the fees and charges that is involved, okay? So please take note on that whenever you want to invest into an investment, regardless if it's a ETF, it's a mutual fund, a unit trust, or whatever money market fund, there will be a fees involved. So how much is the fees involved? They actually need to disclose it as per the Security Commissions of Malaysia. They need to disclose it as per the the regulation policy. So it is our due diligence as an investor to find out what is these fees involved and how will it impact on our investments. So as you can see here, as mentioned, the sales charge just now is up to 5% of your NAV per unit, meaning 5% will be going to your sales charge here. So it's very straightforward. You're literally losing 5% straight right away. And then there is a switching charge. Imagine if you don't want to invest into these funds anymore, you feel that it's not making money, or you want to find a different investment from public mutual that you want to switch it out, then here there's so much other fees involved that on their switching charge, that you need to take note. So then we have transfer charge here again. So up to 50 ringgit per transfer. So what is this transfer charge? Is when you want to transfer your money towards your family members, or to someone else, then they will charge you 50 ringgit per transfer. Management fee 1.8% per annum of the NAV. So that means on top of this 5%, you are paying another 1.8%. So literally straight away you're losing 6.8%. Then trustee fee 0.06% per annum of the NAV, subject to a minimum fee of 18,000 and a maximum fee of 600,000 per annum. So you see, just a simple 5-minute search, and then we can see that wow, so much fees involved here. You're literally losing almost 8%, 6.87% of the fees just by investing into this fund. So you see the distribution, you can also see here. That means this is the dividend that they would declare, additional money if they made 2022, 2023, 2024. That's really empty. So yeah, no dividend income on this fund. Yeah, so these are the fees involved in unit trust, and it's really, really high. So why do I say that? Because when I compare with ETF, which is very easily accessible to us nowadays, it is actually significantly lower. I will actually go through, some of the ETFs that you can invest through international brokers, and you can also read about their fun fact sheet on what are the fees involved. So if you guys are already a subscriber of my channel, you know that I go through some of the platforms in my channel, and these platforms provide you the option to go into invest into the ETF of the US market to overseas market as well. So the fees there is significantly lower. So I'll just jump right into it and show you guys briefly. So I've pulled out one of the fun fact sheet of the S&P 500. This is for CSPX from iShares by BlackRock. So we're going to briefly go through on what is the fees involved for investing in this CSPX. So for ETFs like this, are much more straightforward. Not as much, a lot of hidden costs compared to those unit trusts. So where is the fees involved right here? We can see that the total expense ratio here. So the total expense ratio here means 0.07%. And the use of income here means accumulating. So accumulating means they will automatically reinvest the dividends into the net assets. So as you can see that the net assets of share class will keep increasing. Is as of this today. So if you see distributing here, that means they will actually distribute the income to your bank account, to your brokerage account. But if you guys don't want to have getting the income due to tax reasons, so maybe you want to search for accumulating income. So you see, very straightforward, 0.07%. It's in USD. The launch date is this date. So what other fees is involved? Of course, to invest into CXPX, you need a brokerage. So I use platforms like IBKR. The link is down in the description below. So by using IBKR, there was definitely a brokerage fees involved. So the brokerage fees I will show you on the screen right here. To invest in the London market, these are the fees involved. So it's about, if I'm not mistaken, it's about USD 1.7 plus the clearing fees will be another 0.0 something percent. So I think total will be about USD 1.8, 1.9 like that. So it's significantly lower, but of course it depends on the how big do you invest, right? So a good amount to invest is actually about few thousand ringgit per transaction lah, so that you can maximize the fees involved. So yeah, so this, as you can see here, it's one of some of the key points is that it's Ireland domicile, whereas we have a lower withholding tax if you invest in Ireland domicile funds, and methodology is physical replication. That means they really purchase the shares of the S&P 500, top S&P 500 companies in the US. So it's quite straightforward, quite easy to see. And on down here, you can actually see the returns involved. 2024 is 24.69, 2023 is 25.92. So it's low because they do not actively trade like the unit trust. The unit trust, they try to actively trade, to beat the market, but unfortunately, I think 70 or 80% of the mutual funds doesn't beat the S&P 500. So even Warren Buffett has actually made a bet with a top mutual fund investor previously, and he has won. The bet was that the S&P 500 will beat his mutual fund, and yeah, Warren Buffett won that bet. So you can read up. I'll show you on the screen right here. So it's very interesting, and you can see that the top 10 holdings of the shares is about this. Yeah, so they replicate the S&P 500 very closely lah. Okay, so this is like one of the good ETFs that I also invest in, and of course the other fees, you have to just take note of the brokerage fees and also the conversion fees, because if you want to convert your money, for example, you earn in Malaysian ringgit to USD, then there will be a fees involved. So I use platforms such as Wise to convert my money to USD as well. So all the links will be in the description down below, so make sure to check it out. We just spent a brief 5 to 10 minutes discussing about unit trust, and we can see the main difference in the fees involved already. So yeah, I think from here we can see why I would say that most of the unit trust is a scam is due to the sales fees and a lot of hidden charges involved. And we're trying to lower fees as much as possible, because fees will eat up on our returns very much, right? Because they compound every year and every transaction. It's really a lot. Okay, so just do take note on that. Make wise decision. But of course, if you still want to go ahead with unit trust because you have a good friend or a good person involved, so and if your unit trust after these fees is still beating the S&P 500, so why not? right? If you can find unit trust that still beats the S&P 500, so I think you might go ahead. So whether it's a scam, I think it's up to you guys to interpret. But I hope after today, you guys are aware of all the fees involved when investing into a unit trust, so that you don't fall prey to them and don't fall for their advertisement on first end. Always look for the fees and check the net returns. With that, I think that will be it for today's content. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.